goodness of the material and the quality of the process. Now, here you'll see a kind of a guided tour. That's the separation chamber itself, where the separation of the substance takes place using an electric field. I'm pointing at the electronics module in the locker face in the middeck here of the orbiter. And at the bottom of the large fluids module, there is the delivery pump that pumps the purified material, or the raw material, unpurified, up through the separation column, where it is purified again using an electric field and continuous flow of fluid. And at the top of the module there, you'll see the collection area where I have drawn out samples previously and for the testing, and where we collect it for final return to the ground. The device has been in operation since flight day 2. There have been some equipment problems with it, but nothing really that I haven't been prepared to do on the ground or from previous ground preparation. All right, I think that about completes our guided tour.
Discovery, Houston.
Hi there.
Hi, JR. Before Henry starts the RMS procedure coming up at sunrise, there are probably a couple things that I ought to tell you, particularly about clearances and camera views.
Okay, we're listening.
Okay. You've taken a look at the elbow camera, so you know that you can see the wrist now and you can see the clearances. When you get into the position in single from which you're going to translate in orbiter X, you're going to be probably only about 5 inches from the orbiter skin, the port side of the orbiter, and you're going to keep that 5-inch clearance as you translate.
Okay.
You're probably going to be just a little over a foot above the root of the wing, and you're going to keep that foot clearance as you translate in X.
Okay, we understand that.
Okay, and as you start the X translation, you're initially going to be able to see the orbiter and the ice. But as you move closer, you're going to eventually lose sight of the ice. Probably you'll lose sight of it about 2 feet away from it, and that's just because the camera is positioned about 20 inches above the point of resolution, so the camera will be looking over the ice as you get close to it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and of course the important thing there is not to try and fly it down to keep the ice in view, because that'll get you real close to the wing.
Roger.
And I guess the only other thing, which is probably going to be obvious to you from your elbow camera when you take a look at it, you can check the clearance from the door as you start from the elbow camera, but you're going to lose sight of the end effector going under the door. That dump port is about 4 feet under the wing, so you're not going to be able to see the arm from about the wrist yaw joint on. It's going to be under the doors.
Okay, I'm sitting up in Henry's seat, and I can see a little bit out the window. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to see of that.
That may be the best view of it. That and the side hatch window, you may be able to see something too.
Okay.
That's about all I've got.
Okay, we'll let you know how it works.
Okay, sorry you have to try this.
And the mission commander, Hank Hartsfield, controlling the end effector, and now beginning very slow progress toward the crystal. The camera's mounted about 2 feet above the end effector, so there won't be any visible evidence of the contact of the end effector with the crystal.
Houston Discovery for Sally.
Go ahead.
The minus 625 constrained in X, is that the clearance between the lower boom and the door? So what I mean to say is that to keep a sufficient clearance between those two?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I think that gives you about 15 inches clearance, but I'm not positive of that number.
Okay, I can see that clearly out the window.
Okay.
We have contact, and there are minor particles visible flying off the screen. The camera backing away now to assess the effect. Well, as is obvious from the picture, the procedure was successful.